Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Cam with Vault Media, and if you're new joining us here, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our future videos. Today, we're gonna be hopping into a video that I'm actually pretty excited to be making. Today, we'll be jumping into my 1-year review of the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I've been using the Pocket 3 pretty extensively over the past couple months, and I'm here to share with you my thoughts on some key features and accessories, give you a personal and professional user experience, and ultimately touch on all the good points and not so good points of this camera. Let's dive into it. So let's start with the camera itself. This thing is tiny. Weighing in at just 179 grams, the Pocket 3 has been a constant companion on all my travels, and for good reason. Its discreet, vlog-friendly design has made capturing my everyday on-the-go content not only easier, but also more enjoyable. On the topic of easy creating, let's talk usability with the Pocket 3. Over the past 3 months, the ease of use with this camera has absolutely blown me away. I mean, seriously, everything from the ergonomics of the camera to the intuitive user interface, even down to just how responsive the touchscreen is, there's no getting around it. DJI made the Pocket 3 pretty polished. I feel like I don't say this very often, but it's one of those pieces of gear that just works, which makes it accessible for beginners, but also still offers a wide range of depth for pros and more advanced users. The fast charging capabilities on this camera has been an absolute lifesaver whenever I'm out on a long shoot day, and the other features that are included, like the face track and the active track features, have added a huge range of flexibility for when I'm out filming solo. Now, when it comes to the DJI Pocket 3, it's no surprise that the gimbal is arguably the star of the show here, offering that buttery smooth stabilization for all your videos. However, I do feel like it is worth mentioning that this feature, while it is fantastic, does require some getting used to and some careful handling to avoid any mishaps, something I've become much more aware of during my usage. We'll circle back and touch a little bit more on this later in the video. Moving right along, in terms of performance, the DJI Pocket 3 absolutely shines, especially in low light conditions. The 1-inch sensor on this camera has consistently delivered a clear and impressive image, even in less than ideal conditions. To give you guys a comparison, I used to film most of my personal vlogs on a GoPro because it was just an easy to grab, pick up and go camera. Now, I did have a couple of different complaints with the GoPro, but I think I speak for everyone when I say my biggest complaint was the low light performance. The one thing I knew from my vlogs was that if I wasn't in a well-lit area, my image was going to instantly fall apart. But as you guys can see in this quick little side-by-side image comparison here, the Pocket 3 absolutely blows the GoPro out of the water. Okay, so circling back around to power, I know we touched a little bit on the fast charging capabilities when discussing ease of use. So let's dive into the actual performance of the battery. After some extensive use, I found that I get on average about 1.5 to 2 hours worth of moderate to heavy use from the Pocket 3, which for a consumer vlogging camera in such a small, tiny package, I have to say I was pretty impressed. Plus, if you are out filming and your battery does happen to start running low, all you have to do is plug in the extended battery pack and you are good to go for another couple hours of filming, or at least until you can get back to a charging station. So as I previously mentioned, the fast charging on this camera is an absolutely amazing feature. You can literally get up to 80% battery life in just 15 minutes. That's insane. It means if you like stop at a coffee shop or something like that and they got an outlet over there, you can plug that joint in, finish your meal, whatever you're doing, and then you are good to go right back out to vlogging. From a more professional standpoint, the DJI Pocket 3 packs quite a punch. This little thing can literally do up to 4K 120 FPS slow-mo and has 4K 60 video capabilities. The camera also sports a 20mm f2.0 lens, which gives you a really nice depth of field while also providing you with a nice wide field of view for vlogging and wide angle shots. As an extra added bonus, you also have the option to add magnetic lenses and filters, giving you similar creative freedom to what you would see on a mirrorless camera. Right now, DJI only offers a 15mm option for a wider field of view, with a number of third-party options for different filters and NDs. Personally, what I would love to see in the future is a couple different options giving the Pocket 3 access to medium or even telephoto lengths if possible. I think it's also worth mentioning that the camera supports both HLG and D-Log filming formats, giving you way more creative freedom in post-production with your image. Other features and accessories like the wireless lav mic, which I'm actually using right now, have been an absolute game changer for getting high-quality video and audio. Another feature that I like is that the DJI Pocket 3 can easily film both landscape and portrait-style video. Having the flexibility to film both horizontally and vertically with the flip of a screen has catered to all my content needs. That's literally everything from YouTube to Instagram stories and reels to TikTok. The DJI Mimo app's connectivity further enhances this experience, providing tons of additional control and creative options directly from my phone. Okay, now having said all of that, I have to admit it hasn't all been smooth sailing. Coming back to the gimbal, like I mentioned earlier, while it is an invaluable part of the camera, it does provide a little bit of a risk factor if you're not careful. I've had a couple mini panic attacks where the Pocket 3 has gotten tipped over while it's filming, or it's gotten bumped or brushed when I'm out getting a shot or something like that, that I know normally I wouldn't have worried about if I was filming with something like my GoPro. Next on my list of cons, we can't forget to talk about the photo features of the Pocket 3. I'm not gonna lie guys, if there is one part of the Pocket 3, one angle where I felt like it just came up a little bit short or I was honestly just disappointed, I'm gonna have to pick the photography. On the photography side of things, the DJI Pocket 3 captures all its images at 9 megapixels. A small win with this is that the camera does shoot in RAW, which means you do get a little bit more flexibility when you're in the post-production stages. This basically means that for most Pocket 3 users, as long as you're shooting photos that you just plan to put on social media, you're probably gonna be in a safe area. But I will say that having so many awesome video features packed into this camera, I still feel like the Pocket 3's photography area fell just a little bit short. The next con on my list circles back to the lenses for the Pocket 3. While having the magnetic filters and lenses and ND stuff and all that stuff, like that's a great feature to have, I will say I ran into a couple situations where the security of the lens onto the camera was less than ideal for me. In my test and in my use, the Pocket 3's magnetic lens is pretty stable on the camera as is, but if you happen to drop it, or if it bumps up against something or brushes or whatever while you're out filming or something like that, it's pretty easy for that thing to come off. And with the lens being as tiny as it is, you can see how this quickly adds up to having lost gear. Okay, so the last complaint or con that I have for the Pocket 3 is honestly more of a wish, but being that the Pocket 3 is so tiny and is so small, I honestly feel like I'm using an action camera or a cell phone, just because of like, again, like how easy it is to throw it in my pocket, how quick it is to get it out and film with. It fits that slot for me. But the one thing that the Pocket 3 cannot do that a GoPro or a cell phone or an action cam is action. When I was kind of stacking these things up, even the iPhone does have water resistant or proof capabilities, and technically you can still throw a case on there to beef up the protection with it. But the Pocket 3 itself is sadly not waterproof, and with the gimbal built into the camera, you're definitely looking at a more fragile setup than some of its competitors. So for those of you thinking about bringing the Pocket 3 on all of your action-packed adventures, just keep in mind that it may be limited to certain environments. What is my verdict? For me, I gotta say, like, it's honestly a resounding yes. Despite a few drawbacks here and there, the convenience, the quality, the versatility of this camera have made it an indispensable tool in my creative arsenal, and honestly, it's shot to the top of the list as my everyday vlogging camera. Who is this camera for? So whether you're starting out or you're just looking for a nice addition to your camera gear, I don't think it's a question that the Pocket 3 is a strong contender. But to help you kind of narrow things down, take a moment to consider these things and make a choice from there. In my opinion, if you already have a vlogging camera that's fairly new, like the Sony ZV-1 or the Sony ZV-E10 or something of that nature, the Pocket 3 may or may not be worth the switch for you. Yes, there are some differences between the two, but in terms of performance and quality-wise, they're more or less the same. So the amount of effort or the money and stuff that it may go into doing all that to switch over to the Pocket 3 may not just be worth it for you. If you have a more heavy-duty camera and you're looking for something that can still keep that high production value but will lighten the load of the stuff that you have to film with, the Pocket 3 may be something that you want to check into. And if you are someone who doesn't have a camera, doesn't have any type of gear whatsoever, and you're looking to get into starting a YouTube channel, filming some personal videos or even some professional videos or something like that for yourself or your work or whatever, I have to say, hands down, the Pocket 3 is definitely one of my first recommendations for you to check out. So that's it, folks. That is my quick one-year review of the DJI Pocket 3. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up and tell us about your experiences, or drop some questions down below in the comments for us. Don't forget to subscribe for more reviews, insights, tips, videography, photography stuff, all that fun stuff. We go over all of it on this channel. Until next time, keep creating, keep inspired, and I'll see you in the next video.